Cybertron's future is near. Reignites my spark. We'll crowd a new lord of Cybertron. Roll for freedom. A victory for all sentient beings.
This land is calling.
Welcome to the PUBG Mobile World Cup at the ESPORTS World Cup 2025. I'm excited to be here for PUBG Mobile Media Day.
One thing is for certain, Media Day is where tensions begin rising, nerves are through the roof. But I'm curious to check in with our teams and see exactly how they're feeling.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Ooh, look who I'm finding here. Naki from Fort Tribes. How are you doing, man? How are you enjoying Riyadh?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. You're currently one of the dark horses for Fort Tribes here at PMWC at EWC 2025. Do you guys think you might be able to surprise some of these teams?
We'll surely surprise other teams, but it's not going to be a surprise for us. We know what we are bringing to the game.
I know you guys can bring it. Best of luck, man. Back to your makeup.
Welcome back. I'm here with Nongshim Red Force, and I got a couple of questions to ask the guys before we get into all the action. Now, guys, you had a couple of players rather, come in at the beginning of the year. What has it been like adjusting to new players after having the same roster for so long?
일단 첫 번째 질문은요. 오랫동안 그래도 이제 같은 멤버로 합을 맞춰 오시다가 이렇게 또 올해 초에 새 멤버를 2명 영입하시면서 또 멤버 변경이 있으셨는데 그동안 팀 합을 또 어떻게 새로 맞추셨는지 궁금합니다.
저는 이번에 새로 들어오게 돼서 기존에 있던 팀 합이랑 제 플레이 스타일을 더 추가해서 더 좋은 밸런스를 만든 것 같아요.
Yeah, I mean, I've been added to the roster this year. So what I did was actually playing and adding my own play style into the original play style of the team. So I think that's going pretty well.
Awesome, fantastic. And one more question for you guys before I let you go. You guys have done a lot of analysis, of course, coming into this stage of the competition in a lot of the rest of the lobby. How are you guys feeling, and what is maybe your biggest strength compared to the rest of the teams?
이제 대회에 앞서서 좀 이제 다른 팀들을 많이 분석하셨을 텐데 다른 팀들과는 다르게 좀 이 점은 우리가 좀 더 좋은 것 같다. 그리고 이 점은 좀 더 우리가 더 준비해온 것 같다라는 게 좀 있을까요?
그냥 금전적으로 저희가 더 다른 팀보다 잘하는 것 같아서 그냥 싸움 더 잘하는 게 좋은 것 같아요.
I think we're pretty much better in all the team fights than before, so I think that's going to be our key element.
Excellent. Really great stuff coming in from them. I'm super excited to see what they've got coming over the next few days, and we're excited. So, guys, tune in and see them do their thing.
Welcome back to PMWC at EWC 2025. I'm joined by none other than Hixie from Power Esports. Hixie, you guys had a little bit of struggles there during PMSL MENA Grand Finals. What happened?
Actually, there was like in the league stage, we were doing good because most of the team were giving us a lot of spaces. And we didn't find that in the finals, and we are improving that, and we spotted the mistakes that happened in the final, and I'm sure it will not happen in the PMWC.
I'm hoping it doesn't happen here at PMWC. There's so much at stake. Now, going on to the group stages, what is the goal for the team?
Actually, we want to gather as much experience. I don't care if we qualify from the beginning or not, but we need as much as experience to use it in the finals.
Okay, all right, Hixie here with the strategies. Thank you so much, man. Best of luck.
I went ahead and grabbed TT Global because I'm curious to know about what the fan support has been like for you boys coming into this event.
首先就想问一下 TT 战队这次来到电竞世界杯，你们粉丝对你们的支持是怎么样的呢？
就是希望我们这次能够在世界杯打出我们自己的风采吧，然后我们也会尽力去打好每一场比赛。对。
The fans are counting on us to be able to play our best to be able to deliver a performance to our own standards. So we'll do our best to try and not let our fans down.
And who do you think your biggest competition is going to be throughout this event?
那你个人认为这次比赛当中，你们最强劲的对手会是谁呢？
我觉得这一次最强劲的对手是我们自己吧，因为我们之前在 PMGC 打得不是很好嘛，然后我们没有很好的执行教练给我们的决策啊什么的，然后这一次我们会战胜我们自己，然后把战术执行最完美。
I'll say the most challenging opponent will be ourselves because, for example, in the last tournament that we played in, we didn't do so well. It wasn't so much that the opponents were strong; it was more like we didn't perform well ourselves. So, for example, when the coach gave a lot of instructions, a lot of strategies, we didn't execute them properly due to internal miscommunication and whatnot. So, I think right now we're focused on being able to perform better, being able to overcome ourselves, and be able to deliver at a higher level of performance in the tournament.
Is there anything specific that's being done to make sure that history doesn't repeat itself again?
那你们有没有什么针对性的措施或者方案来提高自己，来让你们这次在电竞世界杯当中可以取得更好的成绩呢？
其实上一次我们其实是心态上面发生比较大的变化嘛，然后这次可能就针对说我们在对于比赛场上高压的情况下面，我们怎么样去处理能够比较好，然后教练也会给我们布置相应的战术，我们就是只要打好每一场比赛，每一场就执行教练所安排的，我觉得这样就可以了。
I think a lot of it is focused on building our team mentality, building our personal, mental fortitude when playing at a very large arena, facing high pressure and in front of a large audience. So I think this was one area that we were weak in the last time, and it's something that we will be improving on. Whereas in terms of strategy, we've got our coach. He's going to be the one, doing all the homework, and he will be the one instructing us, and we'll do our best to be able to deploy all his strategies.
Well, best of luck to you and the rest of the team. I'm looking forward to seeing you perform.
Welcome back to PMWC at EWC 2025. I'm joined by none other than RA Esports Stars. This is the Saudi E-League champions. Are you guys feeling any extra pressure being the hometown heroes?
No pressure at all. If anything, we are more relaxed since we are playing our hometown.
And is there any teams that you guys maybe are a little bit worried of how they're going to be performing or maybe interjecting onto your rotations when we get into the actual gameplay?
There is no specific team in our mind, except that I want to give a good message to Vision. We are here to claim our title back.
Ooh, okay, I can't wait for it. Best of luck to you starting the team.
I'm here with Yangon Galacticos, and I have to ask you boys, finishing back-to-back first place in your Challengers League, what is the secret behind your success?
I think the biggest part for us is a mentality, because we have to prepare the mentality first to be able to achieve and having consistency in the game throughout the tournament, of course, yes.
And how are you going to maintain that consistency going up against other regions here at EWC?
Because we try to play, even though the training time and screen time, we try to play with more final. Because we put that kind of mindset in our mind on every games, and we try to be the champion on every screen. We try to be the, even though we couldn't be the champion, we try to be the number 1 or number 2. Try to get as chicken money as possible. So I think that made us preparing for throughout the tournament time. Yeah.
Now, what do you think the biggest struggle is going to be for you and your team heading into EWC?
I think we have our player is they don't really have that much experience. That's the only struggle there for us, I think.
And how are you guys going to combat that? How are you going to fix that coming into the event?
And we do our best. We'll try our best. That's all.
I think that's all anybody can ask of you as a team. I'm looking forward to seeing you perform, so good luck and have fun. Well, that concludes our media day here for PUBG Mobile. Neptura, what an exciting and informative day it was.
It really was. We got some crazy answers and some crazy questions. I'm excited for what we've got next.
Well, let's find out because PMWC at EWC 2025, it's about to get started.
Oh, 2025 PMWC champions. That is a bit of a tough one, but if I had to predict one team, I think it would be...
No, we can't let them do this.
Yeah, cut.
Right, now that we got all of that under control, we have some epic days ahead for the 24 teams.
We definitely do. We have group stage, survival stage, and ultimately grand finals. $3 million prize pool. I think it's time, Nap. We start PMWC.
Welcome to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, a city where ancient tradition meets the future. And the battleground is set. This is the PUBG Mobile World Cup, one of the most thrilling global tournaments on the PUBG Mobile calendar. It's a stage where skill meets heart, and every match could be the one to change everything. 24 teams. One global battleground. These squads have fought their way from all corners of the world, earning their shot at glory on this massive stage. It's not just about who lands the first shot. It's about teamwork, clutch plays, and keeping your cool when the pressure is on. Only one team will rise to the top, claiming the trophy and the title of PUBG Mobile World Cup at the ESPORTS World Cup Champions, and all the glory that comes with it. This is where legends are made. This is the PUBG Mobile World Cup, and the battle starts now.
No competition is as ruthless as the Esports World Cup. Its trophy system is no exception. The Club Championship Trophy, awarded to the one club that rose above the rest and reigned supreme across all EWC games. The Game Trophy, when a competitor closes their eyes, it's all they see, and it's not complete until it's sealed with a champion's key. Every participant earns a key engraved with their name. That's their right to compete. This year, returning champions hold a key unlike any other. Only one can place their key into the Game Trophy and become an EWC champion. The frame of the champion's key is embedded into the totem, a stone marker of legacy displaying every champion of the year. The keys of the eliminated will be crushed. The champion selects 3 broken keys as a personal token, a reminder of who they have humbled. Beneath the totem, a resin block holds the remaining keys, a graveyard of fallen contenders. Will your dreams be broken or your name carved in gold and stone? At EWC, nothing is granted, everything is earned.
Well, Welcome to the PUBG Mobile World Cup 2025 live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. My name is the 7WG, joined alongside Neptura.
Welcome in, everybody. We have 8 days of impressive gameplay coming in for you guys as these teams battle it out for one of the most prestigious mobile titles.
That's right, and it's not just the glory of lifting that trophy, it's being able to get a prize. A piece of the prize pool, the $3 million prize pool at PMWC.
Sure is, and in the meantime, we can expect some heart-stopping action, some impressive gameplay, and some top-tier strategies all to boot. So, 7, the pressure is on, but will they shine?
We don't know who's going to win it. Could it be maybe one of the dark horses? Could it be the defending champions Alpha 7? I'm excited to find out who's going to be the champion.
So am I. So prepare for this insane journey as we see all the global teams battle it out. But for now, let's go ahead and look at that format.
Get ready. The PUBG Mobile World Cup is about to kick off. From July 25th to August 3rd, the best teams from around the world are heading to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, for an all-out brawl in one of esports' biggest stages. So let's dive into how the tournament will unfold. First up, we've got the group stage, running from July 25th to 27th. 24 teams, split into 3 groups, red, green, and yellow, each playing on 2 of the 3 days. By the end of it, the top 8 teams storm into the grand finals, while the bottom 16 head into the survival stage for one last chance to stay in the game. The survival stage, happening July 29th and 30th. 16 teams, 12 matches, just 8 spots left in the grand finals. This is where every point matters. Every clutch can turn the tide, and every zone could be the difference between going home or moving on. And then it all comes down to this, the grand finals, the biggest stage, the final fight. From August 1st to 3rd, action-packed matches. It's a race to win it all. At stake, a massive prize pool, bragging rights, and the title of the PUBG Mobile World Cup at ESPORTS World Cup Champions. But there's a twist this year, the Smash Rule, an exciting new way to claim the championship title. It's not an easy path, but a team can secure the championship through it. Here is how it works. After day 2 concludes, the match point threshold is calculated by taking the total points of the first place team on the leaderboard and adding 10 points. Then on day 3, the Smash Rule comes into play. Starting then, any team that reaches the match point threshold must win a match to secure the championship. However, reaching the threshold and winning a match in the same game does not count. The win must come in a later match. And if no team wins through the Smash Rule after all 18 matches, then the champion will be crowned the traditional way, based on overall points. So lock in your calendars, rep your favorite squad, and get ready for one of the biggest PUBG Mobile tournaments ever, live from Riyadh. Welcome to the Qiddiya Arena, the hub of all of the action here for the PUBG Mobile World Cup at the ESPORTS World Cup. This magnificent setting will welcome supporters from around the world to cheer on their favourite teams and, of course, watch history being made, Blank.
But the drama is not done there. This mechanical contraption is the Key Crusher, the Key Devastator, the EWC Sandworm. And teams will be looking to throw the keys in here. Barney, will you be my lab assistant and show the people how this thing works?
Of course I will be. This Crusher is honestly spectacular. I can't wait for you guys to see how it works fully when we're live.
First of all, we'll turn that key.
Engines on.
We'll flick that switch, Mission Impossible style.
Yes, we will. I won't flick it right now, but it will open the iris and it will just devastate all these keys and reveal the teeth.
And we won't be pressing that final button until we finish the survival stage, till we finish the finals.
I know, I can't wait for that to happen as well. But just remember, 24 teams will enter into this arena, and the fate of 23 of those keys will end in the Crusher.
But the final leg will not be done there quite yet. After the winning team has the privilege of crushing 15 other keys in that finals, they will have the duty of lifting the PMWC trophy, which is stunning.
It really is stunning, and we cannot wait for all of you to see it. And we also can't wait for all of our teams to enter the arena.
Only one rules out rise above it all. Let's take a look at the club championships.
This is the ESPORTS World Cup Club Championship, the ultimate cross-game competition that will crown the best esports club in the world. Let's break down how it works. Clubs will be able to compete at the ESPORTS World Cup and as many titles as they can qualify for. The clubs will then earn points based on their placement in each title. To qualify for the club championship, a club will need a top 8 placement in at least 2 competitions. But to win the championship, a club must place first in at least 1 competition. At the end of the ESPORTS World Cup, the 24 clubs with the highest number of points will earn a share of the 27 million. With the winner taking home a staggering $7 million. And of course, the title of the best esports club in the world. Who will rise above and write their place in history? Watch it all here at the Esports World Cup.
Welcome, everybody, to the STC Club Championship update. I am Veracity, joined alongside the wonderful Reflection.
The wonderful already gassing me up. It's great to see you, Veracity. And look, Esports World Cup is incredible, and history is being made each and every week throughout the Esports World Cup in 2025. And the reason why is because we got the Club Championship trophy on the line. And look, the teams are competing not only for that coveted trophy, but also for the tremendous bragging rights.
You're darn right. You know what? We also have a $27 million prize pool throughout the entirety of our club championship, which is alone amazing. But first place walks away with a hefty $7 million to their name.
That's insane. And orgs, by the way, from around the world are competing for that very prize pool. And one of those teams is in first place. We're talking Vitality. 2,200 points is where they currently stand. They did so in last week's tournaments by getting a first and third place respective finish.
You know what, though? Let's not forget about Gen G Esports, who also walked away with a victory of their own. But the big target is on the backs of none other than our reigning champions. That is Team Falcons, with national pride on the line and the pressure of, putting up a performance worthy of being reigned as champions once more.
Team Falcons, they're the home team, returning champions. They really do have that pressure. But so does Alpha 7 competing during PMWC. They're also returning champions in that title. And by the way, they're currently at 200 points. So they need a top 8 finish in order to get those valuable points so they can start earning money towards the club championship trophy.
And of course, if they walk away with that victory, they manage to secure themselves 1,000 of those club championship points. You know what? Without further ado, let's go ahead and throw it to Seven, who's joined alongside the reigning champions themselves.
We're here with Team Falcons, ready for PMWC at EWC, and I'm going to be talking with Redox instead of Rove because I'm always bugging him. How are you guys feeling? You guys have had some good performances at global events, especially starting from PMGC last year, third place, now PMGO, second place. What is the prediction coming into PMWC?
I mean, as always, our predictions that we're getting top 16. We feel prepared, we feel motivated, we're ready, and we got to show the world. That's it.
You guys were able to win PMSL EU, and you guys said that there was a new tradition that you guys started, which you were able to touch the trophy. Have you guys been able to touch the PMWC trophy yet?
No, Tencent didn't want to.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll see if they are actually going to be lifting that trophy towards the end. Thank you so much, guys. Best of luck. Back to you guys.
The energy in the building is electric, Max. But before we start to recap last year, let's have a look at how things are going to unfold this year.
I mean, yeah, right here, Jackie, for 2025, it is going to be 8 days worth of action spread over the course of 2 weeks. So you better be there because the teams are here, ready to make history.
Back to back, same time, same place, day in, day out.
Yeah, and this time around, for day one, it is going to be Group Yellow versus Group Red to kick off the festivities here at PMWC. And Group Red, known as the Group of Death, is ready to bring the heat.
Oh, they really will be. And for those of you out there that enjoy a classic staple map pool, you're in for a treat, Max.
I mean, come on, Erangel, the bread and butter here in PUBG Mobile Esports, it is going to be the best to have it 3 times per day. Though, looking back at 2024, Alpha 7, your reigning champions here to defend the throne once again, but we know that here, Jackie, a lot of teams are ready to take that trophy away.
Uneasy is the head that wears the crown, and with Japan coming so close to getting their hands on the title last year, no reject. Who's the new challenger, Max?
There's too many teams to count here that's going to be able to compete for it, but with that said, we should get right into the show, and actually, I'm a little bit late, so I'll see you guys in a bit.
Get a move on. What's he doing?
We'll see how long it's going to take Max to get back to us because it is going to be quite a bit of a run. But welcome to the PUBG Mobile World Cup at EWC 2025. My name is the 7WG. I'm going to be your host, and I wouldn't be able to do this by myself. You know that Maximin's going to be getting here at some point. I'm joined by none other than Neptura. Neptura, how are you feeling?
I am feeling fantastic. I'm super excited to be here. We're back on the desk once again.
You see what I'm seeing right now, Nep? Is that Max running?
Oh my God. Here he is. Are you okay? Are you overheating?
Did I miss something? Oh, start. Hello. We're ready.
Hi.
Max, how's the run? How are you feeling?
I need a bit of cardio. No, it's fine. I'm feeling amazing here. Okay, it's hot out here in Riyadh, but it's especially going to be hot in the lobby because these games are about to be straight fire, 7.
Maybe the best lobby that I think we have seen this year by far. Not even close. But you know what? We're talking about the teams. Let's actually take a look at some of the teams that are going to be participating here at PMWC at EWC 25. And boy, we got some new teams, and we also have some teams that we have seen for quite a while, Max.
I mean, yeah, you got a lot of teams here that came back that are going to be trying to defend their title, like Alpha 7, right? But other teams that are back once again trying to get himself a good run. Looking at especially Alpha Gaming, I think a team that a lot of people are looking at here in Ipcho to maybe try and do well, but they're still trying to fix a few things here and there.
The dockening. I'm just going to say it right out.
We'll get to that. But you did mention it during that clip, Max. You were saying red group today, day 1, we're going to be having group red versus group yellow. Red group being the group of death. And then tomorrow, that's a group that would actually get a chance to sit out, and we won't see them again until day 3 of group stage.
I mean, having that one break day is very important in Ipcho, right? Going into it, if you have a bad start, it's a really good time to have that 24 hours to fully reset, know, okay, what happened, what went wrong, try and fix it going into your final day of the group stage, because a lot of teams, I would say, are trying to avoid that survival stage. They want to qualify from the get-go to make sure they got that final spot secured.
That's usually what we expect. Would they hear one player, though, saying, hey, we actually want to get a chance to go to survival stage, which that was a bit surprising to me.
Right? I mean, I always see that, though, and I'm kind of like, actually, you do want to do that because it is the way to go forward. I think you get more practice. You have more chance to analyze the teams against your team specifically. So, yeah, I do think that it's actually a really, really good idea in a strategic sense to actually play for that survival stage as well.
Well, it might play out. It might put some extra pressure on the players. We don't know. Sometimes crazy things happen. One thing I do know is that I want to take a look at the Aramco Power Rankings because we got a chance to select some teams. I'm not going to talk about mine. I want you guys to talk about yours. Neptura, go first.
Go first? All right. Well, Falcons, I kind of think that's kind of a given for me, at least. I think they're really cool. We've seen them do a lot of things globally. Good global experience. Good to go. Weibo Gaming, huge hype coming in from them. I want to see more from them. We all want to see stuff from them. And I think they've got a really, really good chance of doing very well globally, which historically, since Nova, we've not really seen from their region. So I'm good to see that. Regnum Kari as well. I kind of feel like there's no real discussion there. We all know why they're there.
PMGO champions, right? They made themselves their home region get an extra slot, and they qualified through that extra slot. They got themselves in PMGO over here in PMSL EU. So really good stuff from Regnum Karia. Silas, we have to say, he won PMGC. He's won now PMGO. If he wins PMWC here at 2025, he could be the only player in the world to have won all 3 big global events, which would be historical for him to make that happen today.
And the crazy part is that for the year, I mean, he could hit the global Grand Slam for PUBG Mobile, winning PMGO, maybe possibly winning PMWC, and we'll see. We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen with that team at PMGC. By the way, my picks, pretty much underdogs, okay? Teams that I think are going to end up going to survival stage, but some of them not, but some of the other teams that I think they're actually going to be going to grand finals. But one team that I think a lot of people are expecting to be in grand finals is Regnum Karia. So let's take a look at this video.
Regnum Karia Esports have had one of the most emotional and unpredictable journeys in PUBG Mobile Esports history. Just last year, they suffered a heartbreaking loss at PMGC 2024, falling short of the title by just 2 points. It was the kind of finish that sticks with you, the kind that can either break a team or push them to come back even stronger. And for Regnum Karia, it lit a fire. At the heart of this roster is Silas, who's chasing PUBG Mobile immortality. If Regnum Karia lift the trophy this year, Silas will become the first ever player in PUBG Mobile history to win every major global event, an unprecedented accomplishment. Beside him stand Wild and Loxy, the mechanical powerhouses with the ability to swing team fights in seconds. Tospic, though, brings consistency and calm in chaotic moments, often acting as the glue that holds the team together. They came into PMGO 2025 with something to prove, and they proved it. From the earlier stages all the way to the finals, Regnum Karia looked like a team on a mission. Their plays were sharp, their teamwork was on point, and when the pressure was highest, they delivered. They walked away as PMGO champions, not only lifting a trophy, but also securing an extra PMWC qualification slot for their region in the upcoming PMSL. That extra slot, it ended up meaning everything. In PMSL 2025, Regnum Kara started strong, but found themselves in a tough fight during the finals. And despite their efforts, they finished in 4th place, just outside the standard qualification spots for PMWC. After everything they fought for, it looked like the World Cup dreams were slipping away again. But the very slot they had earned by winning PMGO ended up saving them. Because of that extra spot, their 4th place finish was enough. They qualified for PMWC not through the front door, but through the one they built themselves earlier. From barely missing out on the biggest title in 2024 to becoming champions at PMGO and then scraping into PMWC through sheer grit and timing, Regnum Kara's 2025 season has been a roller coaster. And now, with a second chance on the world stage, they'll be looking to finish what they started.
I mean, Regnum Kara has just been on an absolute tear. We saw what they were able to do at PMGO. Can they maybe follow that up here at PMWC? Or what are the chances looking like so far?
I give them a solid 60%.
Oh.
So they need to share 40% between the other teams. That's quite low. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're looking really good. I think they're just looking very strong. They're feeling it. They're feeling that success, right? And so I feel like at this point in time, at feeling as good as they do, that momentum that they've got, this team that they have, the synergy they've been able to build, it's looking very good for them.
You want to jump in? No, I was going to say, because looking at this team, right, these 4 players have stuck together now for the entirety of 2025 so far.
Yeah.
They have that synergy. They have that trust. Wild and Loxy in particular, when they're doing a play, they know exactly what the other guy's thinking. So when they're going for a breach on a compound, I'm telling you, Wild and Loxy, you don't want to go against them, because chances are, if they have a shotgun, you're not living more than 5 seconds, okay? You better be careful and hide.
Yeah, 100%. It's so nice to see that synergy come through, and that's really something that you don't see other teams have, and that's what you're always trying to get to. That's the standard that you're trying to get to, is having that synergy between players to the point of where you know what the other one is thinking, and that's so important in that late game.
Well, I mean, we're talking about teams that you don't want to run into. One team that I personally would not want to run into is Hora Esports. I mean, this team has been an absolute dark horse for me. They were able to perform well in their PMSLs as well. So before we even continue to talk about them, let's take a look at this interview.
We're lacking so many things in past, like communication, synergy, team game. That's why we got 1v3, 1v4 so many times. But in this gap, we really did like practice all the things. I think it won't happen again in this PMWC. Last night is our main drop, so we will surely go there. I never thought like I'm the star player of the team. It's just like fans or supporters, they just gave me the title. But I don't think it's like it will give me pressure. It just motivates me like to be called star of the team. I don't like to say anything those who underestimate us, but I'll just show them in game. Thank you everyone, love you all, and keep supporting us.
As I mentioned, a team that you definitely don't want to end up running into. They have turned it up this year, Max, and I feel like they could be either one of the favorites for some people or maybe a dark horse team for some other people.
Yeah, I think you could see them in the 2 different options here going into this tournament. If you're Nepalese team, you're going to see them, of course, as a big squad going here for the entire tournament. Though, this is a team that's very rotationally smart, right? They are so good at getting good entry points here, and I think that could be something that sets them apart in this lobby.
I mean, we just got a chance to see them there with with the Jamil Motorsport player arrivals. They're looking confident, and I think they might end up shocking the world as well, especially in group stages, Neptura.
I think they could, exactly. I mean, this team gets a lot of pushback from actually being able to be very passive. They get labeled as very passive, but they're not. They're a very aggressive team. They're just not as aggressive at the get-go as you would see from a lot of other teams. So they get called passive a lot, but they really aren't.
Yeah, they take fights that make sense. They're not a team that, I see you, I'm going to push you and fight. No, they think about it. If we get something out of this fight, if we win it, this fight makes sense, we'll send it. And they're a team that's very smart about it, but I see them a lot more as a defensive team. They get in positions ahead of the lobby, play defensively, hold teams at bay, especially with Sleepy. Is exceptionally strong with the DMRs, especially the Mini 14, keeps everyone at bay, and that just gives them a lot of space to work with in the mid to late game stage.
One thing that I've actually enjoyed and that you were able to showcase on Instagram at MatsManCast, make sure you check it out, by the way, because it's the macro play. They have just improved that macro play, and I think that's actually going to end up helping them out here in a global stage.
Yeah, they know exactly how to leverage positions to their advantage. At any stage, early, mid, late game stage, it doesn't really matter too much. They're very smart, and it's down to the IGLing, the fragging potential, the team coordination. But one thing we need to talk about, especially too here, Neb, is going to be Mafia Ninja. The man in the shadows, right? Was part of DRS in the past, one of the most experienced players you will ever find in the path for PUBG Mobile Esports. And this guy has been helping fix a lot of issues for the team, and they are now coming fully prepared for PMWC. And because of Mafia Ninja and how the team have been working so far, I genuinely would not be shocked to see them up in a top 5 position.
I wouldn't be shocked either. No. That's currently a team that I have going to the grand finals. Do you feel the same way for that team? Straight from group stages, buddy.
Straight from group stage is a lot, because I think we're going to have a lot of teams that will put a lot more points forward. Okay. But I think if they can survive to that late game, they're very sneaky. You never know where they're going to be in the circle. If they can get that far, then yeah, I think they could do it. But it's kind of depending on how the rest of the lobby plays, I think.
We had a meme during MSL CSA saying if they get past the 5-minute mark, there's a 90% chance they win the game, because they kept hot dropping. But once they fixed the hot drop versus upgrading Yasnai Polyana, they just had no issues reaching the 20 to 25-minute mark pretty much.
Top 3 easily.
Yeah, that was Mafia Ninja.
You were mentioning other teams there. I think one team that you might have in mind that we were kind of talking about is Kinotrope Gaming.
Yes.
That's a team that you really want to talk about.
I am very excited about Kinotrope. I really, really am. I think they're such an interesting team. They're not one that I've seen a lot of. I feel like this is kind of one of the first times we're going to see them globally. For certainly many of the players, this is their first global event. They only have Ozzy-san, who we know from many years ago. Over the last few years, we've seen him a lot in the global stage. The rest of the players know. And when I saw them recently, it was like, hang on, who are these guys? Because they're actually really good. They're very aggressive, and they seem to hold their own against very experienced teams. So I'm very excited for Kinotrope.
Me too. One team that I'm really excited for, and more than likely Max is going to agree with me, and I know you definitely agree with me already. Can you take a guess who it is? Starts with the W,
a B, and a G.
Weibo Gaming, baby, because that could be one of the favorite ones to win this whole event, PMWC, because of the additions that they have had.
Since the Nova era, where they won PMGC back-to-back, right? Have we had a team from China really getting close to competing? Tianba, you could maybe say, but
occasionally.
I am so hopeful that if a Chinese team is going to win a global event, it is going to be this roster of WBG. They have been so impressive in the PUBG Mobile Hong Kong Invitational in particular. Sook with the bow is a scary fellow, and you're looking at 33Z, you're looking at Order, the fragging duo. Order in particular, this guy, he is experience incarnate, and I think that with the way they played in Hong Kong Invitational, chances are they could win this trophy here in Riyadh.
Well, Max, we're talking about all these teams, but we're missing one team, the main team, and I'm sorry I have to do this, everybody, but we got to talk about the defending champions. Alpha 7, barely making it into PMSL Americas. They were scaring us at one point, Reflections, and I were like, are they going to make it or are they not going to make it? Luckily, they did end up making it. They're defending it. Is that one team that we're feeling like they're actually going to be able to win that back-to-back, Neptura?
Do you want me to be honest?
No, I want you to lie to us. No, please, lie to us.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, why not?
I think the lobby is the strongest it's ever been. I think we have way too many contenders that play too similarly to A7. Very aggressive, very quick. That they might just, if they don't fix the certain cracks that they have at the moment, they could fall through them.
Max, I see you pondering in your head. Am I agreeing with this? Am I not agreeing with this?
Like you put it really well, so it's hard for me to disagree, but I want to say that there's a lot of potential on this team.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
We saw Squash, like Mafioso, Revo, Cario, we know those guys. They've been sticking with the team for ages now. But Squash is the new addition, replacing McGrellin from last year.
True.
And I feel like Revo found a new best friend in Squash. Like, they are an incredibly good fragging duo, and their potential is incredibly high. We were talking with Reflections, actually, just a few days ago, and he said the team maybe looks a little bit weaker than the previous iteration of Alpha 7 in 2024, but their potential is so high. If they're able to fix those little issues with Squash and him be able to get more experience on the global stage, chances are they could reach that full potential and go 100% here on this tournament and make it work out.
Now, this is one team that I didn't want to talk about that much, but I do want to put a little bit of input there for Alpha 7. Is they're fighting for that $3 million prize pool. Not only just that trophy, right? But the main thing for this team is how are they going to be starting the tournament? Are they going to be starting slow? Are they not? I got a chance to talk to the players actually right before we started the show, and the main thing that I told them is whatever you do not start slow. Do not play that catch up. And that was one team that told me, you know what? We don't really want to go to that survival stage. We want to go straight to grand finals because we want to be able to have a little bit of extra research, and that could be something that benefits teams.
Yeah, survival stage, yucky. You don't want that. Great analysis here on the desk. You know, like you want to try and avoid it. That would be my personal approach because you're putting your position for the finals at risk. Yeah, you would just want to get there as early as possible because otherwise, chances are you might not qualify through the survival stage.
Oh, I mean, sometimes those teams like to have that pressure on their shoulders. They become diamonds, but then sometimes they end up crushing and they get exposed for just
piece of coal
for not really being able to do that. But for Alpha 7, we'll have to wait and see what that's going to be happening with that team. As you mentioned, this is one of the strongest lobbies, if not the strongest lobby we have seen, I think, in many years. And we can go on and on and on and talk about those teams, talk about which one's going to be challenging them, which one is maybe going to be surprising a lot of the viewers that they might have not seen before. I know that we definitely have a couple teams here and there, but I think the talk is done. I think I want to see this player. So you know what? Let's go to the introductions to the stage.
The goal isn't to simply compete, it's to bend, break, and dominate your opponents. This week is going to be absolutely phenomenal, and I cannot wait to see what unfolds. My name is Barney Banks, and I am privileged to be your host for the PMWC at the 2025 ESPORTS World Cup. 24 teams will enter the Gidea Arena and battle through the group stage, the survival stage, and of course, the grand finals. All with $3 million in sight, and of course, this stunning PMWC trophy. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think it is time to kick off today by introducing your teams for day one of the group stage, starting with AXTMG. Nongshim Red Force. Weibo Gaming. Yangon Galacticos! Hora Esports! Power Esports! Regnum Carrier Esports!
finally, your reigning champions of the PUBG Mobile World Cup at the Esports World Cup, Alpha 7 Esports! The journey to this point, it has been tough, but the real work begins now. It is going to absolutely pop off here on the main stage, so get comfortable. Who has what it takes to perform under the bright lights? Could the reigning champions do it once again? We spoke with Alpha 7 Esports earlier this week to find out.
Alpha 7 Esports have long been the kings of their region, dominating every tournament they enter. But on the global stage, close enough to touch victory, yet always watching it slip away like under a curse, finishing second or third in the biggest events. Time and time again, they came close to glory, only to fall just short. That curse weighed heavy. The world saw their talent. They proved their strength regionally, but the ultimate global crown remained out of reach. Then in 2024, everything changed. At 2024 PMWC, Alpha 7 finally broke the cycle against all odds on the biggest stage in PUBG Mobile. They delivered the performance of a lifetime, champions, the first team from Americas to ever lift the World Cup. It was more than a victory, it was a statement. But since then, the roster has slightly shifted with McGrellin out. At the heart of Alpha 7 is Revo, a PUBG Mobile legend and basically an MVP magnet. The guy's consistent, clutch, and always in the spotlight.
Revo jumps out the 364, and that's the second as well. Revo.
Then there's Carrillo, the team's IGL and mastermind who calls the shots like a chess grandmaster, always 3 moves ahead. Mafioso and the newcomer Squash bring the heat with insane mechanics and nerves of steel, ready to turn any fight on its head. And honestly, Carrillo's not just the brains, he's got the highlight plays to back it up, and he's hungry for more. But being a champion means the target on your back never goes away. Alpha 7 entered 2025 with a different kind of pressure, the pressure to defend, to prove that last year wasn't a fluke, that the crown belongs to them. In PMSL America Spring, Alpha 7, who have long dominated the regional PMSL, didn't just bounce back. They crushed it once again with relentless consistency and their trademark aggression. They maintained their undefeated reign at home while proving their strength internationally. A third-place finish secured their ticket back to PMWC. Not as underdogs, not as challengers, as defending champions. From South America to the global stage set in Riyadh, Alpha 7 isn't just back, they never left.
PUBG Mobile fans, prepare yourselves, for we are about to kick off 2025 in style. Things are going to be explosive, exciting, and damn right disgusting out there today, Blank. I cannot wait to see how this lobby's looking and how the first day of competition goes here live in Riyadh.
Criminal roster of players across all teams here in the EWC, the PMWC. We've got Team Falcons coming in through here, coming off the big win over in PMSL EU, and Koa with his signature sunglasses on deck.
Man, it's going to be a treat. So many teams that are absolutely stacked this year. I think that's the rhetoric we're all kind of looking at. Damn, all right, a little bit of a flourish as well. Yeah, it works, it works. I'm digging it, Blank. I'm digging the stage too. I think that's one of the fun elements that we're bringing to you this time around. Such a different style, the dynamic nature of it, it really embodies what the scene's looking like today.
You know, even earlier on, I got the chance to, take a little step into the stage during scrims. We have players shouting at one another from across the room. It was good stuff. But the dancers already had some nice discussions about how they feel teams will fare. I think one of the more interesting discussions that was had was about Weibo Gaming. Yeah. Honestly, I think that they're absolutely right and correct in the The fact that, you know, China just hasn't been a powerhouse for a long, long time, despite, you know, being straight off the mark very, very early on in PUBG Mobile. But that was a long, long time ago.
Yeah, the optics for it, the potential chance, you know, it's literally what me and Max were setting up back at the start of the day, right? Who's going to be that upcoming challenger? You've got a lot of X's on Alpha 7, a lot of targets. People are looking at them, right? They're aware now you're coming in. Everyone's looking hot blank. Other regions looking to try and have an opportunity to snatch at that trophy, rip it away from them. And we saw how motivated and close Reject came last year. Not in the building this time around. Someone else has to come up and show us what they're made of. And I think there really is a definitive chance that we get a different champion this year. I'm not actually even expecting the two-time possibility blank. With how stacked this event is, I feel like it would be so much work for Alpha 7. They're going to need to give us their A game through and through.
Well, like Yagami in the building. We do have like a bit of an issue, right? In terms of the fact that Alpha 7 barely made it in. Regnum Karya barely made it in. Team Falcons, they didn't look super smooth making over towards that top spot, still took it. But Regnum Karya, Alpha 7, those are your two teams that a lot of eyes are on them. And Max put it perfectly in the sense that Regnum Karya earned their own spot coming through from PMGO, but if they'd come second in that PMGO, damn dude, they wouldn't be here sitting on this stage today. So again, there needs to be some big improvements from both those teams. Alpha 7, I want to see them have that hunger once again that we saw them where they were pacing all the time to try and pick themselves up a win. Forever second place, that team.
Yeah, the Cinderella story, right? Forever the bridesmaid, never the bride. They were finally able to have that success story, and what a time for it. I do like as well, it's the way it kind of plays in, right, with the stage, them in the middle, risen up. But is that the true lay of the land? Like you're saying, the differential of how this year is going to be looking once we really start to kick things off. A lot of excitement, a lot of talent. That's really what we're looking at here. I mean, to be honest with you, I think everyone at home this year is going to be in for a treat. Day in, day out, back-to-back blank. So much PUBG Mobile, and you need to make sure you clear your schedule to fit it all in, because it's going to be world-class.
All right, it's a feast. It's going to be calorific on the stage, and it will be treats back-to-back. Some sweeties for the PUBG Mobile fans.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of bonbons been thrown in there.
Sugar Rush gameplay.
But yeah, I think the interesting thing here right now is you can see it's quite pensive in the room, quite pensive.
Yeah.
Where we're all on 0 points right now. You know, no one's got that head jump start where they're feeling a little bit more confident at the position in this tournament. We're just waiting to get into our first game here. I believe we're very, very close to go, so don't worry.
It
is a coming.
Yeah. Man, it's exciting as well, because I think, you know, you raise a good point there, Blank, where kind of the bookends of the entire event, right, having that nature of opening game, where everyone's on same points, nil plot, nothing to play with, right? It's why it feels so intense, because there is those moments of like, all right, we don't actually even know the full reverberations of some of the outcomes from this map for quite some time. That's why it makes it kind of fun. It makes it exciting to see how it's going to go. I'll tell you what I do enjoy as well. Seeing quite a few mascots this year. People have got like the little teddy bears out. People are feeling it, bro.
I'll tell you what, the mascots are out. The jerseys are starting to become a little bit more creative. It's nice to see, honestly. I think Alpha 7 did have like a little bit of a part in that. I think that they would, with them having the holographic jersey for so long now, a lot of the teams decided, you know, we gotta bring the fashion game up just a little bit.
Gonna make the most of it. Strapped up, getting themselves ready. Yeah, it feels like the competition's starting to heat up at this point, but who's going to be able to beat the heat? That's the question. So much to play for here. Ridiculous lion's share of prize pool on the line. The glory, the legacy, the opportunity for so many of these teams, players, regions, all building. It will be an explosive 2 weeks live from Saudi Arabia.
It's not how you want to start things, though, with a tangle. That's the worst way to start things here.
Make sure you get the left in the left ear. Don't get them muddled up.
You're locked in as soon as those headphones go on. Quite a few of the teams that are coming through from Americas. I do worry for Americas a little bit, honestly, just because they're quite an aggressive region. I think the one thing that does play into, definitely we get through to those finals. But we'll be starting things off here over on Sandhog.
Oh yes, here we go. This is what we were waiting for. The anticipation building, the environment, the stage, the fight, the clash between all of our teams. Day in, day out, the PUBG Mobile World Cup. It starts right here, right now.
We got the honey plane, so we certainly bring in the sugar, like we were saying. And this is the first treat of the day. And all our players ready to go. Al Hadji, you can spot him straight away down the bottom left. He is a big powerhouse inside of PUBG Mobile. Excited to see what he can do. Constantly coming back to the big stage.
Oh yeah, fan favorite for the region as well. Everyone was going absolutely ballistic in the crowd last year whenever they'd see Al Hadji popping off. I can't wait to see what he'll do this time around. Power gaming, never disappoint, buddy.
And there's Silas, top right in the world. I think that's an undisputed fact to throw that one out there. Let's see if he can lead his team to victory. As Max was saying over on the desk, a very consistent roster so far overall. We're jumping straight into things though. 4 thrives over towards Hatin on a hot drop to start things off, Jackie. And Nongshan Red Force also down towards Ruins.
Well, let's see how this goes once we get into the action here and see what things are going to be developing like, obviously with those early hot drops, Blank. It's always exciting, mate. This is one of those where we get a little bit of a telltale sign as well if teams are going to pull off with some of these more default drops if it goes wrong.
We're already losing one. That's over towards Power. So 4 thrives currently thriving over towards Hatin. We're on board with AX and Nongshan Red Force in the Ruins.
Scrambling, grab themselves some bits and bobs to fight with. Nongshan Red Force taking a bit of a dink towards the backside as well. DBS is in play. They start to make their move. This is real rough as well for Power, Blank. I mean, down to just one man left standing already. I know I was hyping him up a little bit, kind of a fan favorite for the crowd, but that is not a dream start whatsoever.
And 4 thrives, 3 eliminations, 4 players still up and kicking. And they will be kicking Power out from Hatin going forward. On the other hand, Nongshan Red Force taking a fair bit of damage. AX currently looking a lot more healthy here compared to them. Controlling on the outside of Ruins right now. A little bit tough when you get on the back foot here, especially in terms of meds. Because a lot of these rooms do get cut off, and AX is starting to increase their domain within the Ruins itself.
The opportunity to play with, though. Some weapons established there. Henry in the back line. With the DBS on deck as well, waiting for the close range. A little bit of scouting, keep your distance. No overcommit. They're aware of each other.
This could be good, though, for Team Falcons, of all teams, actually. Head up towards that north side. We know that Ralph does like to scout out towards Ruins in the first place, and with the circle going over towards the east, if you can cut out 2 teams from Ruins, you open up a very consistent and easy path over towards Painan. Here's a replay coming through. All the action that went down over towards Hatin. It was a rough and tumble of a start there for Power.
Yeah, brutal on the replay, catching the highlights from that one actually for Power Gaming. Mid-looting, quick to the draw, just able to make the play on it. Always the chance for maybe a little bit of acclamation if you can stay alive. One player in the opening moments, first 15 seconds, yeah. Not the sort of sight that you'd like to see.
Ooh, nice.
Good sneak on it, Blank.
Yeah, good catch. Very, very good catch. And again, to be honest with you, AX, with the amount of control they've had throughout the entirety of this fight, they want to conclude this soon. They know they need to go up towards that eastern side where our circle pops.
Equal trade so far. Looking to close the gap with the DBS, but the quick burst back over, looking pretty good actually. These trades though, so messy. Either side taking heavy hits, and looking to see if they can convert. DBS just spamming out the shots. Need to play medic, get Henry back on his feet. Got the elevated fight, wide swing out on the corner, drop down into it. And there you have it. Come out on top in the end, being able to shut down the Red Force. Nongshan out on that one as AX will survive. Bit of a nail biter, but they get through it.
I mean, for AX, fans of that team will be very, very pleased with that one. And honestly, it's not what I was expecting. I'm happy to be surprised in that as well, because the control they had on that fight was spectacular. A lot of teams, when we see like this kind of an improvement and then heading over towards EWC, it was sort of a surprise pick for us coming through. Yeah. I was excited to see it. I'm very, very surprised to see that kind of control coming through early. Now, the question is whether they can do that kind of thing to a much more consistent team in the lobby. You know, we're looking at scarier teams, Alpha 7, DRX, Ragnar Kaya, Weibo Game.
They kind of have that success versus them. We'll wait and see, but to start things off, that was very, very clean by the Bucks.
Even just to get the nerves out of the way immediately as well, like the sort of, you know, the caliber of the stage you've immediately been thrown into, mate. It's one of those where that feels so good for you compared to the outcome of losing that.
Especially as a special invite as well, because in a lot of instances when we have that invite come through, a lot of times that team doesn't do amazingly well, but it's nice to have them here. But this is a very keen team to start things off. So I'm impressed. I'm impressed to start things off. Here's Regnum Kaya on your screens. Currently up towards Cal right now on the north side of the map. Locked in a fray though with Weibo Gaming. We might just be able to get some answers nice and early. Weibo versus Regnum Kaya, how that pans out. The well-known player, Order, star-studded player, in fact, in Order. Has had so much success and consistent success over the years. Order versus Silas, that could be a very, very fun matchup.
We can check in as well, of course, with our reigning champions at the minute, Alpha 7. Got Mafioso doing a bit of scouting work as well, the only player separated away. Squash, another big talking point that we'll develop into over the course of the event as well. Ciari's performing here. Bit of a new look. It's like 25%, I think, the maths on that one, Blank. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's always been the case for Alpha 7, is just finding that fourth player. It's never been easy for them. Squash is returning to the game after a year. Took a little bit of a hiatus from it, but they immediately had him back. Fair play. It is unfortunate to see McGrellin not in the roster, though. McGrellin was a player that they had found massive success with internationally. And I thought, you know, that they would work with him, but I just think the team did not gel, despite the ridiculous amount of success they were able to find over at EWC. So yeah, weird. Weibo Gaming is going to give up the chase here, though. They're going to head down towards that south side. I reckon Kaya don't take any casualties off the back of that one, which is good to see.
Obviously, threw the highlight out there as well towards Falcons early. You can see they've had a relatively unscathed path up to this point. Going to go for the crossing as well on the bridge here. So potentially a bit of an opportunity for a skirmish to come up. AX as well making their move in now, coming over towards Painan. Again, not really had much of an encounter since. Nice to get the overview though with the map screen. You can see New Circle coming in and the shift for our teams here.
It's a cool shift as well on the circle. I've never ever seen a Lukawi finish in my entire time of casting PUBG Mobile. So cool. We can go east again. End up in Lukawi. I'd be very, very happy. I think I've seen every other finish here on Sandhawk other than Lukawi. Fireflux, Falcons are heading up here. I don't know how they're able to get towards this position unseen.
Man, that's an instant knock as well. Now, Valo being able to pick up pretty big impact onto this. Yeah, that's crazy. It felt like actually with the position they were in, there must have been some kind of visual contact from it. Really not ideal. Pretty quick nades of the cast out. See 2 knocks. Got one back over onto the Falcon side Blank, but for what it is, a bit of a messy encounter here.
I think the Fireflux, if I was looking at it, I think they tried to regroup from that northwest side and then come back down towards Cave to get together. The Falcons have been so silent on their approach, despite having the vehicle as well. Yeah. So you imagine here the end, surely. And we're going to get our circle closing in just roughly 15 seconds. We're heading over towards the east side of Quarry. Now, Quarry is a big problem, Jackie, for a lot of these teams. It's low ground in there. You don't particularly want to head towards that position. There's a lot of sight lines from that eastern side of Quarry that are on the high ground looking down into Quarry. So you have to either go above on the north side or down towards the south. But it's going to funnel teams into awkward scenarios. So Falcon's already taking out the majority of Fireflux. It's beautiful for the Ralph. Okay.
Oh, mate. You say taking out the majority, they might actually just take them all down at this point. Being able to track them all down there, perfect peek in, gets the drop on them, literally. Now, there has been a bit of a proverbial dinner bell that was rung, and that's AX on the rotate over. They would have heard some of this gunfire release, trying to at least carve a path back around. Don't want to half commit to this, seeing the Falcons are up on high.
I think it's a smart move from AX. I mean, the cave is a messy area. to try and push, try and play around, get those third parties in. You don't have exact location either. So I think for AX just a head ahead, you know, and they realize this is clean. We're not getting in contact with absolutely anybody on this rotate, so they get ahead. They sit on the edge of Quarry. And Falcons need to make a decision on how they want to play through. A lot of times on this circle, they actually shift down towards the south side here, Jackie, before moving up towards the north. So I'd be interested to see how they do play out these next moments. 4 Thrives. They won their fight over towards Hutton versus Power earlier on, and now have come into contact with Weibo Gaming. Now, that's kind of interesting to me, right? If Weibo Gaming didn't spend so much time over towards Cow, potentially they were here a little bit sooner than 4 Thrives, but felt like the end of the game for 4 Thrives here was just to get into the circle ASAP.
So it is a bit of a split as well with the Scout. So we'll see if he can make his passage safely. The solo head count, obviously Scarface, the only man left from the squad after the cave shenanigans that we saw, tucks himself in, and then you have Easy on the long old quest. He tanked himself up, late loot, just trying to make his way down. Obviously that was Power Gaming losing absolutely everyone bar Easy in the opening few seconds.
Come on, let's head north. Let's head north on this circle. Show me one Lukawi, please. Fun area of the map right now. You got like a lot of high ground that slopes down over towards Kampong, over towards the Kari itself. It's a little bit open on those high grounds as well. There is more buildings down towards that eastern side, but that means you are picking up the low ground early on. If you have to move out that area, it is a death sentence. Playzone takes down Toshvik. Now that is interesting. I don't know how that's happened for Regnum Kaya. They have really damaged on their escape outwards.
You cannot afford to dilly-dally. It's time to lock in. And they're going to have 2 teams ahead of them as well. So the pathway forward, it's going to be a bit rough. Toshvik on the knock. You've got Weibo as well with the damage coming over the top. Before I get into close combat here, I mean, potentially the DPS. You've got the crossfire set up just on the doorway, but it's the nade usage that could make the world of difference. A few of them are back pocket, already a bit of splash damage over. Slight peek on the angle. Oh, hang on a minute. This really is a dinner bell. You got the third party just on the top of the ridge as well.
The thing was this though, Jackie, this is exactly what I was talking about. That high ground looking down to Lukawi is horrible to play against. Before Thrives, they just need to worry about getting backstabbed. I think Team Vision has made their way on over, and there's Volt already finding T24. There's Angdon Galacticus finding Regnum Kaya, the entirety of them as well. Goodness me, just waiting for them on the wings there.
Yeah, fragmented, one knock into Toshvik, everyone else just being shot at from 2 separate sides. It really does start to crumble. This was 4 Thrives who were setting themselves up to get the third party down to the top of the ridge. Like you said, they've been ran up on. And it's not looking good whatsoever. Quickly, they are dispatched. Mopped up like a spilled drink, Blank.
It was a great push through from Vision. Honestly, Volt does a huge amount of work in that instance. I'm surprised that 4 Thrives fell for that so suddenly, and I think that's because they got a little bit too aggressive down towards the position early. And that is always the difficulty with taking that high ground, that your back is not protected. Horror though, no fear. Certainly feeling it now, it's a little bit. Soaz from DRX, of all teams, down towards the south side of this, actually getting slightly involved. And it's nice to see, Horror getting aggressive, because it's exactly what Neptera talked about on the dares count. Teams maybe see them as a bit of a passive team, but no, they've got a little bit of a bite to them.
Oh yeah. Don't want to get those hands too close, they'll bite back. It's rough for Order as well, how he was setting himself up. Actually quite nice with the cook on the nades. You can see he was trying to just go in for the knock, didn't expect the shot from the side, instantly downed, and then fully committed because of it.
Yeah, DRX might actually have a little bit more to say about this one. Younger in development as well.
You've got a good read on it. Oh, hang on a minute. Alpha 7 cam dropping over. Mafioso trying to bail out. Damage comes through. Quick damage on the Carrillo. There's the pre-nade as well.
Oh,
nearly, mate. Couldn't get it through the window.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nade you should not be missing here in EWC, right? I don't think you should be missing those kind of nades. For Alpha 7, now they're surrounded. Revo, Mafioso, keep things under wraps. Team Secret, they're coming over towards that building, over towards Revo is. He's got a big task ahead of him.
It was a cook on the nade, cast it out, doesn't look like it's going to be on target. Vision as well, scrapping. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side of the feed, it's all kicking off. Damage back down onto 4 primes. That was the replay that we had there with the real action here. Let's see how it goes.
There's 4 teams in this compound, dude. This is unbelievable. You've got Yangon Galacticos, Alpha 7, Team Secret, E Arena, all battling for control here. I think Team Secret picked their moment very nicely. I think Team Vision maybe missed their moment there. But they could have come down slightly earlier as opposed to looking over towards this fight happening between Weibo as well as Horror Esports in Lakawi. I think DRX does have a nice spot, you know, over on this eastern side. They can stalk the opponents on the west.
Yeah, it feels like they've been picking their fights nicely as well. You know, the one pick they were able to find was good timing on it. Not overcommitted. They're playing the long game on this one. Everyone being so closely grouped, there's a lot of potential for a big point earner the longer it goes on. A lot of chip damage being thrown out between these teams as well. Weibo going down in the meantime. Another squad eliminated as they are thrown to the wayside. It's been so rough as well. Mafioso consistent, just taking so much damage, having to tuck in. Really doesn't have an angle to fight from at all. Smile. Be happy with that one on the peek back over. Good tag straight up. Say goodbye.
It's a good unleash over towards E Arena. Very nice angle to play in. Mormon goes down after all. Maybe Team Vision didn't miss a trick after all, by the way. I mean, if you can clean out Horror Esports, you have a very nice ability to kind of sweep on this eastern side. But I'm very, very excited to see who wins out on this compound eventually. Here's Marcelo. Again, this is what they wanted to do in the first place. Get rid of Horror Esports, then they can start to move down over towards DRX. They will cut themselves out a huge amount of space on the northeast side. And even if it goes over towards the west, they do have a scout in Never Alone, currently playing in a compound on that northwest, keeping tabs on that huge fight ongoing inside that compound that you see on your screen right now with Team Sleeper Alpha 7. Yangon Galacticos, nice nade comes through again. 6 elims on the match.
Yo, honestly, you've got to give props. Vision looking really crisp right now. That was a beautiful nade. Great timing on it. Ooh, hang on. Going to be able to get the full commit onto this, though. Looking for a window. Obviously wanted to get the pick back up. Couldn't do it. Sahora out on the adjustment there. Great work from Vision. Topping right now on the elim points. That's 8 that they're rocking with.
It's a really, really nice start. And Sandhawk is particularly good for this, Jackie, where you're able to get a big lead at the start of the day just because it encourages one team to take control of the match. That was a nice step out from Borazin, honestly. But Devotee, the reaction speeds on that were insane.
It's a good start for this teammate as well, the way they've read it. You play off the back of the nade into the peaks. You've got to force them into the fight. It's a good engagement, actually. Like, impressive stuff. They've been playing a relatively passive game rather than the hot drop that we sort of start off with, but rotations have been all right. The teamwork looked pretty good. Rough on the move here, though. Limited cover to work with and influence Rage. They take the peak up and do get the shot back over.
If it's quite honest, like it has been hard for them. There hasn't been too many areas to jump in. I mean, Arian will get ahead here. Well, it's Cyrax.
It's the easy cam. Oh, hey, that's
take out influence.
He's literally had the backline this whole time, by the way. He's been slowly making his move in, right? He's rocked up, found influence Rage, and made the play. Oh, easy.
Fair play. Fair play.
2 elim points. Can't actually turn your nose up at that, Black.
No, you can't.
Let's see if he does any more. I'm rooting for him. Oh, footsteps heard.
Yeah.
Nah, he's not joking around.
Hey, I mean, he outlived 4 thrives, though, so...
It's really not that bad, considering that could have been literally like a 0-point game. Like,
yeah.
You'll take it.
No, absolutely, you will. They got, I think, a 2 off the back of that.
Yeah.
Nice. Yangon Galacticos will finish off Alpha 7 who get 1 pity point in terms of placements. Any other elims that came their way. Team Secret now struggling. And this has been a great setup from Vision. Honestly, this whole time. Look at this line that they've got. You can see it right there. Looking over towards Team Secret as well as Yangon Galacticos. As they leave that compound, not only will they be trying to tear shreds out of one another, but it also will be Team Vision having some pretty deadly vision their way.
Potential stab in the back as well still. From Joker onto AX as they start to make their rotation over the top. Like you say, it's a good setup from Vision, but I'm also liking what DRX are working with. Oh, hang on. Volt still keeping the electricity going. More so than anything, right? You're going to have that relatively equal tie right now in the elimination points between the both of them. Great game of how they've been keeping themselves involved. It's a nice sprint to at least have an understanding of the rotations in for DRX. Moonbin was playing far further out, obviously scouting down. Nade onto the top. Never alone, takes a hefty hit from that one. Got to back up a bit. Team Secret caught in the crossfire as well.
Smile finding a lot of Team Secret there, so stolen away, a lot away from Vision, honestly, on their exit. You can see there that Yangon Galacticos, 13 elims this game. An absolute galactic performance from them. Irina goes down. Iron goes down as well. That's the Yangon Galacticos. Another tag on, which takes them up to 14 elims on the first map of the day. Beautiful stuff. It's Team Falcons that I'm interested in. You know, they've had a pretty casual game. They really need to make it count now, though. The big two teams that will be going head-to-head will be DRX and Vision going forward. DRX has been very quiet, though, Jackie.
They have, yeah. This is what we were looking at, right? Kind of passive, just the sort of third-party fights when they had a few off angles. Oof. Bullets raining down.
Funny thing, they have the circle. The Yangon Galacticos.
You know what, you are right. I mean, it's kind of awkward, right, with the split at least. A lot of damage onto them, but with how many elims they've been able to rack up already,
wow,
they're looking crisp. Like, not going to lie, from the position you're in, maybe there's still a chance to get a little bit more out of this one. Be a hell of a day if they can kick it off like this, Mike.
Falcons have to leave. Luckily for them, DRX as well as Vision just get into contact with one another.
Here we go. Scrap starting to unfold. Damage over the top. Marcelo with the pick up, spamming into the smoke. Vico over the top. Nade straight onto him as well. So Vision, it's getting risky. And that's DRX with the damage being dealt. Volt suddenly clambering to pick this one back up. Meanwhile, you've got DRX from the sideline with his own pushing in, nipping at their heels. They've got to be forced further forward. The nades blank with how closely grouped they are. One right on target would finish them.
What are you doing? They drove their own teammates into the barrage of nades. Smile goes down and Team Falcons now looking for the finish. But it was clean from DRX. Now looking to get all their players back up on their feet. We see if Team Falcons can finish with North. It's Ralph, Koa, as well as Redux. Either side of the circle. Preliminary grenades going out over towards the hard cover so you know they're working with no information.
Nades in, stepping forward. The feet are on the ground right now. DRX, they saved themselves. Could have been misery in the previous fight. The smorgasbord of mistakes have kept them in it to win it, and Hyunbin tries to unleash. That's one clean connection back on a round. Koa low on HP. DRX dealing damage right now as the elims are racking up in a position to close it and grab themselves a chicken dinner on the first game with the shots raining true. It's all on Redux. We need to be a clutch from the back line, and that's not going to happen. DRX will take it.
Yeah, coming to play here. It's not quite D plus Q, but DRX are looking good on the main stage. Very, very nice to see here for them. Team Falcons will take that second place. It's a good position to be in for them, Jackie.
It really is. Beautiful stuff. I mean, hell of a start to the day for Yangon Galacticos, right? Like the elims, absolutely beautiful. You're taking really heads-up fights. You've been able to build up that momentum. For a first game, that's the performance I'd want every time. Yeah, we didn't get the chicken dinner blank, but the blood's pumping, the comms look clean. That matters a lot.
No, Ralph doesn't seem to lose that game, but I think that they should be happy. They were working with little to no information there, and they really had to cut it down to the wire moving out from that blue. They were banking on Vision and DRX actually fighting one another, and it took so long to get involved. But what was that car play, dude?
Mate, it just felt so confusing in the moment as well, right? Because you're like,
why are you backing your teammate?
You've got the intense fight here. What is this play? Like, where's this going from? The comedy of error that then just unfolded into everyone, obviously, having to be closely grouped. You eat a nade, no spacing, nothing you can do. The difference of one day is just completely removing them from what was otherwise a really great sort of mid-flow of the game.
The game was unreal from Vision, and to end in an embarrassing moment like that does feel rough. They still get themselves a lot of points on the back of it, though, Jackie.
They really do. They really do. And a lot more action to come. So join us after the break.
Cybertron's future is near. Reignites my spark. We'll crowd a new load of Cybertron. Roll for freedom. A victory for all sentient beings.
What a first match that we have had here at PMWC at EWC 25. Boy, I was not expecting DRX to get that win, Max, but they came out on top.
I was like, there's no D plus Kia. But DRX are the new D plus Kia. Does that make sense? I don't know, maybe. But South Korea here to play. It feels really good. And really good entry point to the East, playing it pretty safe, waiting until the very end. Got a really good nade onto Vision that really just unlocked the potential for them to win that match.
It felt a bit like an underdog type of game, right? You were telling me that a lot of these teams, I mean, big teams that we were expecting to do good, they didn't end up performing that good. One team that actually ended up surprising me, and I feel like it surprised a lot of us, was Yangon Galacticos. The amount of eliminations this team got.
They're like, what the hell is happening in that Alpha 7 compound? I guess we'll send it and just eliminate everyone. They got almost double-digit eliminations that game, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So Yangon Galacticos, I think a lot of teams here qualified through PMSLs. They made it through PMCL, the Challengers Cup, and people not really looking towards their direction too much and actually getting a really good start here on Sanhok.
I mean, Neptura, them being able to achieve 14 eliminations, that's one way that you want to be able to start PMWC.
That is wild, and I think it really is down to all of those third parties because they were really on top of the ball when it came to actually finding those opportunities to get those eliminations. A lot of them were through those third-party opportunities. They were just like, oh, there's an angle, there's a team fighting, there's an angle, let's get that angle and move on. So really, really good stuff from them. It's nice to see them step up like this.
Yeah, I mean, Team Vision here getting themselves a third place with 10 eliminations. Two teams able to get double-digit eliminations alongside Yangon Galacticos, and they had a really good third party onto Hora versus WBG. That fight was just stretched out to its absolute limits. I think it went on for about 5 minutes, if not more.
For way too long.
Yeah, and they were like, well, this fight is kind of stupid. It's taking this long. This is like, we're just gonna roll on in, get those stragglers, get the few points, and after that, get a nice transition to go fight DRX.
Yep.
Unfortunately, DRX had nades, as we did see, but it was a really good start from Vision that after all of the teams that came out of MENA, I was really not having high expectations for.
Yes. That was a massive surprise for all of us.
plus. I feel like with Team Vision, the way that they were able to perform here on this first match, something that actually ended up surprising me. I was expecting to have one hot drop. Instead, Max and Neff, we ended up having two hot drops.
We did. We had two of them, and then we had, what was it, Power also with Fourth Thrives, that's right. But then we also had Nongshim Red Force and AXTMG, Max.
Yep.
What a weird one.
Weird.
Because normally AXTMG, for those who know, looking back at the MPS, they drop Northwest Island. They drop on the mountaintop. I think they might have been scared of a possible flex out of Power and Fourth Thrives outside of Heartin. So like, we're just going to give that space away and go for Ruins instead. But Nongshim Red Force dropped there. Like, that is a known fact. And they still try and take it away, which I don't know why, because that's a bit unnecessary, but they win it, so I can't complain too much.
I want to pause it, though. Was it on purpose?
You think so?
Possibly. Now, I have seen many times before, if a team wins a hot drop, that carries momentum in through the rest of the game. They're able to build on top of that and get a lot of eliminations. Sandhawk is this team's best map. So for me, I'm like, okay, that's a weird hot drop. That's a weird choice. Was it on purpose? Did they think we can win this against Nongshim? Let's go for it, get that momentum and get some elims for the first game? It's entirely possible.
I feel like the reason why we're saying this could be their best map is because they do end up playing it twice at BMPS, so they have a little bit extra experience when it came to that one.
Very confident.
Now, you got a chance to talk to the Falcons coach.
I did.
And I know you were happy to mention something about this team.
I was. Pico. Shout out to him. He was talking to me about the team, and I was like, are you going to play any different? Because, like, you're not playing tomorrow, all of this. And he said, no, we're just going to play normally. We're chill. And I was like, okay. Normally, normal in these sorts of lobbies, especially the first day, is everybody kind of tiptoes around each other a little bit. Certainly in the early stages of the game, you kind of like trying to get a feel for how the lobby's going to play. Not with this team. They went all out very, very early on, and so I'm like, hey, that's not normal. Pico, you lied to me. How dare you? That's not normal. They came in with real aggression, and actually, it was really impressive. I liked it.
And it worked out, clearly, right? Against them second place. If they had 4 players, maybe it would work out, but DRX were very smart about the way playing that ridge. They get control of the rocks, and then Falcons couldn't do much. But until that point, it was a very, very solid match here coming out from Team Falcons. But again, let's keep in mind, PMGC, 3rd place, right, with Enigma Galaxy. PMGO, 2nd place. The 3rd place curse has been broken. Come on, if they win it here, that would be such a magnificent comeback storyline for them.
Just the line is just going to keep going up for that team. Now, another team that we were expecting them, especially with the circle that we ended up getting, Max, was Alpha 7. We thought that they were going to be able to do a little bit more, but I know you want to rage on this team because I was also raging watching what happened.
I am confused. Because Alpha 7, if you want to go for that road trifecta compound, I don't really have a big issue with that. I think that going for the DRX Ridge would maybe be a better decision overall. But instead, what do? They go right into the road trifecta compound, which is a very crashable compound. And they stay split. They have 1 player in each building. And guess what? Team Secret come in. Yangon Galacticos come in. Another team come in right after that. I don't really know why they decided to stay split for that long when you know you're going to get crashed. Go into 2 buildings as a 2-2, or even have 4 players in 1 building. I don't care, but you need to be set up for defense because you are not going to hold 4 buildings as a full squad.
No, it's a really, really difficult thing. But those buildings are so hard to play anyway. Like, it's so nadeable, so low ground. It's just hard. So it's kind of like you lose whatever you do, really.
It was one of those teams that you expected that team to just stay a little bit compact. It didn't end up happening to them. But don't forget that from July 25th to the 27th and August 1st to the 3rd, log in to Summon Airdrops and collect 2025 airdrop vouchers to enter prize draws for official merchandise, smartphones, BD partner rewards, permanent in-game items, and more. Every participant is guaranteed to win. Additionally, from July 25th to the 31st, vote for your favorite airdrop partner for a chance to receive special gifts from them. Don't miss this year's airdrop carnival and unbox your surprise. I know I'm gonna be doing it. Max probably has already done it, and Neptura is gonna be doing it too. Now, going back to this game, I mean, one thing that actually ended up surprising me in regards to what you were saying with Falcons is how they were actually able to crash on Fireflux and take control of that southern part.
It's crazy, right? I mean, I know Blank and Jackie were talking about it a little bit there, where it's like you're not usually able to get up there, let alone silently, especially in vehicles. So it's kind of a bit of a miracle they made it up there to begin with. And then what really impressed me was the follow through. They got the 2 initial knocks, but they didn't leave it there. You saw Raouf actually go into the cave, spot that extra player, and get rid of him. And then later on in that Elam feed, we saw them do it again and pick off that final player. So like they followed through with that fight.
They didn't catch like fall in the cave itself.
Yeah.
Oh, was it on purpose?
I am the bad catch.
Was it on purpose?
Maybe. He had an entire backstory in that cave when he got spotted out by Raouf. But it was an interesting fight. Cave is always a little bit weird to fight around. Yeah. But it works out at the end, and yeah, Falcons able to just maneuver their way through and make it out.
They definitely did. Do you think, I know that was the only Sandhawk that we're going to be playing for today, but going into tomorrow, do you think these teams are going to be able to maybe readjust in regards to the hot drops, Max?
If you're talking about AXTMG versus Nongshim Red Force as like that one hot drop, I think that I want to see AXTMG give up on it.
I do too.
Frank, because
even though they won?
Yeah, because I mean, because it's a 50-50, right? If they lost one player, guess what? Your chances of making it that far in the game is going to go down drastically. I think you go back to Northwest. Guess what? Camp Alpha is open. No teams dropped there, but we're also going to have different groups now. I think about it, so maybe you'd have to think about it a bit more. It might not be free tomorrow, but the previous drop was fine.
Yeah.
If you can go there again, just go and play your game.
Now, Neptura, for this match, you got a chance to talk about Team Falcons. You got a chance to talk about some of the other teams as well. Is there anything that kind of surprised you from what you saw here happen in the first game?
I kind of want to say actually Team Vision in the final phase up against DRX. I thought they could actually win it against DRX. They looked really mobile. They looked really aggressive. They had that momentum going. Just DRX's nades were able to pull through. But actually Team Vision, I was like, okay, nice. A little bit of a step up. I'm going to be looking for them.
Yeah, there was one player of DRX, I forgot who it was exactly, but that played very respectfully at one point. They were taking so much damage from Team Vision. He goes back, goes for a first aid, and the moment he comes back up, he gets onto the front line, holds a little bit more space to keep his team safe. Hopefully they don't get fleshed out. Fleshed out, they could be also. But they don't lose those players.
Yeah.
He gets in nade range, gets an amazing nade. I think he gets 3 eliminations at the end onto Team Vision, gets everyone confirmed, and then they can just start getting the res, getting full control of the high ground, and even then Falcons, I think they could have won if they pushed it right after that fight, but they had very limited information, which makes it a little bit hard for you to commit to a play when you don't know what is still available on your opposing side.
I was really happy, especially when we saw that push on Horror Esports. The way that they were able to just finish that off without losing any players, that's the consistency that I want to continue to see out of that team. Now, as mentioned, Horror, that brings something up there, Max?
I know, I was going to talk about Team Vision again, actually.
Okay, go for it.
Knock onto WBG.
Yes.
They instantly send it.
They were
so confident, which you know, some teams that maybe are playing for the first time at a global event, they're like, no, WBG? Who the hell is that? We're going to send it regardless. So I love to see a team like that, they're seen as an underdog, be confident. That is what you need if you want to go for the trophy.
I mean, the crowd is hyped. I'm hyped. I'm glad that we got a chance to see Falcons, and kind of like, in a way, some of the top teams as well being able to at least put up some eliminations under here. Now, I want you to give me just a quick name. Going into Erangel, which team are you going to be looking at, Natura?
WBG.
Ooh, okay, Max.
Regnum Karya.
Okay. Well, you know what? Let's send it over to Blank and Jackie, and let's see maybe which teams you guys have in mind.
Hey, thank you, Seven. I'm excited for this one, man. You know what? It's a spicy question. I'm liking it. He's not only desk hosting, he's cast hosting, he's doing it all. Go on, Blank. Who do you think? Who's going to show up here today?
What teams I'm looking at least? I'm kind of looking at Power, to be honest with you, and their drop over towards Yasnaya, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a potential chance that they drop alongside with Weibo Gaming, and I'd be interested to see how that hot drop happens, because a lot of times, you know, you can comfortably control Yasnaya on both sides. I do wonder if Weibo is going to be a little bit unhappy with a team dropping with them. We'll have to wait and see, because a lot of these drops can change. Also, Team Falcons in PMSL EU, they really struggle with Papada Supermassive actually dropping on top of them in Pachinki. It really hurt their league stage. I'll see if somewhere, because right now Kinotrope could drop on them potentially. But we'll see, because I do think Team Falcons needs that spot on the map to succeed, especially with Erangel being matches a day.
No, I'm lucky. I like the setup here. You give some sort of good thought there for some of the storylines, Blank. I think it's in. Yeah, no worries. I got you, homie. But I think it's a good storyline as well in the sense of power, because that is actually literally like a power struggle. If you think about sort of the opening result from the first game there, you do squeeze out 2 points with Easy being able to get the backstab off late onto Influence Rage. But outside of that, that was a hot drop that obviously was a heavy hand straight to the face, right? Another rough outcome here, another rough start. I feel like it compounds so quickly, dude. Day one, hot drop after hot drop. If it all starts to go wrong, you build a very slippery slope for yourselves. So I'd love to see them fix that before we're saying, oh, game 3, it's not looking great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for Power as well, the big issue for them is that most of the tournaments that we've seen them in internationally, it's always been pretty bad start to squeezing out a qualification right at the end there, or just barely missing out on a qualification. And I think that that's something that Power just can't afford to have. When we see Power done the best in the past, it's where they get a really clean start, they get out the gate running, and that's when they do very, very well. So I think that kind of momentum buster towards the beginning of the tournament will hurt this team.
Yeah, you've got to feed the hot hand a little bit. You know, one thing that I think we noticed a lot last year as well was the difference in the body language from that team. When things are on, like you say, the confidence is there, they're feeling themselves, you see the happiness. When things aren't on, it does take a little bit of a different turn.
Al-Haji has this astonishing capability to either look like the angriest guy in the room or the happiest dude on earth. It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. Hopefully we get to see the more happy side of Al-Haji. We want to see Al happy. That's what we want to see. Yeah,
that's good. That's good. No, 100%, man. I think that human element of PUBG Mobile is something that sometimes sort of take for granted, right? Especially more so when we're online. You don't get that all the time to see the real sort of emotions for a team, and it really does run through you, especially in this kind of environment, right? Like grand stage, very different, all encompassing with how you're sort of down in the middle, all of your other opponents around you, the crowd onlooking from all angles. Yeah, the anticipation and pressure can build up quite quickly. If you're just joining us as well, we're getting ready to kick off our second outing of the day here for the PUBG Mobile World Cup, live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at the ESPORTS World Cup 2025. First game had some great storylines to it. They broke it down very succinctly on the desk there. We were saying the highlights, well, the ebb and flow of Vision, looking like they had a great control of the early game, good mid-portion with the fights they took. Late game, though, comedy of errors in that encounter where they sort of shoved themselves into harm's way. Blank, DRX being able to pull the wool over everyone's eyes. Very passive but smart fights. Little backstab, little moments, all building to good map control that resulted in them getting a great chicken dinner. And then, of course, Galacticus coming at you like a super villain, just ruining everyone, Blank. Eliminations on, what was that? Another elimination.
It's right, we were stacking them. We were stacking them. We were looking like a wedding cake of eliminations during that game. And I think the thing is that for Yangon Galacticos, when you were looking at them during that match, they were just compounding elimination after elimination. They went up to 7 elims, then it was suddenly 11, then we're finishing on 14. I was like, where are they all coming from? But it's just some very clean sweeps across the board. So for Yandon Galacticos, I do want to see more of that, please.
Oh, yes.
Honestly. But yeah, I think for DRX as well, it's good that you bring them up because there's some big boosts to fill for South Korea, especially after last year's PMGC with D+ actually winning that over in London. But for DRX, I do think that they have some very, very strong players on side, some very storied players on side. I mean, Hyunbin's been around for many, many years and has always been quite successful, and that's a good way to start things out. For South Korea in general, the macro is very, very good.
It really is. It really is. You know what, though? I think we're having a good time right now setting the stage, but why don't you see how much fun the players have been having? Check this out.